Every time tour guide Paolo Patuzzo crosses the Rialto Bridge, he can't help but wonder, where did his charming city go? The one that's now overrun with millions of tourists. How can Venice protect itself from the onslaught of visitors? He's sure this piece of world cultural heritage won't survive as a photo backdrop alone.
My love for this city makes me seek out places and people who are keeping Venice alive. Because there are enough people who are counter-steering and navigating the city into troubled waters.
Like most Venetians, Paolo lives from tourism, which presents him with a dilemma. He now conducts special tours to draw attention to the city's problems, like in his own district, where rents are rising as flats are being used as holiday homes. More and more Venetians are moving away. At the bar Paolo frequents, Venice's decline is a hot topic.
20 years ago, the city was full of craftspeople who produced things for the local people. Upholsterers, carpenters, locksmiths, bookbinders. They're all gone. Today, no one makes mattresses or repairs shoes anymore.
And that's wounded Venetians' pride. Is this all that's left of their once so prosperous trading city? Paolo shows us the Mercato di Rialto, the old fish and vegetable market. Now it's just a tourist trap. Venice has become a city in which few people actually live.
Here there are more tourists taking photos than paying customers. That provokes people, which is why a few fishmongers are considering asking for money to pose for photos in front of this tourist backdrop.
The cruise ships are also a huge problem. Activist Stefano Micheletti is outraged. Not only do these huge vessels flood the city with day trippers, they're also threatening the lagoon city's very foundations.
The big ship's propellers have a piston effect. They churn up all the subsoil, so clay and silt from the lagoon are gradually washed into the open sea.
As a result, Venice, a city built on wooden piles, is slowly sinking and could eventually be completely underwater. But Micheletti isn't giving up. His citizens' initiative has managed to prevent even more cruise ships from coming into Venice.
When a ship like that goes by, the water level in the nearby canals sinks by around 20 centimeters and then rises again right afterwards. Due to the displacement, this hugely powerful force eats away at the foundations of the palaces, churches, and bridges.
But not everyone in Venice is happy about Micheletti's initiative. The port authorities invested millions of euros in modern cruise terminals. Now, due to the success of the protests, only half of them can be used.
For 4 years, we've been listening to these fears that our ships could even ram into Venice. I can only keep reassuring people. Even with the biggest ships, the chances of that happening are zero.
So the industry is still fighting to keep the huge ships cruising by St. Mark's Square. It's a business worth millions. But resistance is growing, also due to the exhaust fumes the ships release into the air. More and more Venetians feel their city is not on the right course.
So far, big construction projects have been decided by the corporations operating the port and the airport. It's only about growth, ever bigger, ever more. As for the city's welfare, there's no strategy whatsoever.
That makes Paolo Patuzzo both angry and sad. Each year, Venice's 55,000 residents are overrun by 30 million tourists. Many think the time has come for radical counter-strategies.
It's paradoxical, but the best tourist for Venice is the one who stays at home. We're more than full up, with 30 million visitors a year.
It's clear something must be done to reduce the number of visitors to a reasonable figure. But for that to happen, Venetians will have to sacrifice some tourist dollars to save their beloved city.